Hi, welcome to the MDT session. I'm going to give a quick demo of how to use MDT and WDS to install Windows 7 on a bare metal. So I have a Hyper-V here and I have lots of machines running, and let me show you how my setup looks like. I have a domain controller which has DC, which has DNS and DHCP, and I have one more member server which I named it as MDT, and it has Windows deployment services, as you can see. And I have MDT, Microsoft Deployment Toolkit, with the two applications, and these are the operating system I have imported. So I'm going to do a very small thing. I'm going to create a task sequence, and I'm going to use WDS as my Pixie boot and install Windows 7. So first of all, I'm going to create a new task sequence. I'll say Windows 7 with apps, and I'm gonna click, I will say Windows 7 apps 2 because I already created one, and I'm gonna choose a standard client task sequence. Means I'm gonna gradually install Windows 7 and format and reinstall. So I'm gonna choose Windows 7 Professional. Click next. I'm not gonna use any product key. I'm gonna make it as Hontaso. Click next, and no admin password for now. Now click next, and there you go. So I have Windows 7 with apps 2. I'm going to update the deployment here so that it will eventually update light touch deployment ISO image. So I'm going to use this ISO image, burn it to a CD, and I can go to every machine and boot with it, and I can connect to my MDT server and I can deploy it. However, if I use WDS as my booting system, I can kick out all the CDs. I can use the same ISO, import it into WDS, and I'll be able to deploy Windows 7 without any CDs. So I'm going to update it. So click next, click finish. That's cool. So now it updates an ISO. So let me go to my deployment share where my MDT has updated a boot. So this is my WinPE 32-bit Win, which I'm going to import into my WDS so that it will boot it. So I'll copy, and I'm going to open WDS. I'm going to say boot images, right click and say add image. I'm going to boot with 32-bit light PE, which I just created. I'm going to click next, click finish, click finish. So it's going to import or add that image into my boot system. So next time onwards, it's going to boot with these two different options. So just to rename it, what I'll do is, I'll just say properties. I will say -2. Click OK. So I'm gonna go to my Hyper-V. I have a test machine, a bare metal. It doesn't have anything, nothing. So I'm gonna reboot. So I'm gonna reset. So now think if it's a new laptop, and now it's going to pick up IP address from DHCP, and I'm going to press F12. So now here you go. I have two CDs or two options to boot with. So one is the previous one and two is the second one. So I'm going to choose the one which is updated one. So I'm going to use this boot image. In this way you can use Windows WDS to boot, or you can also use this to boot it to MDT. So now it's going to use my light touch or Pixie mode, light touch P, Windows pre-installation environment, boot it, and then it will connect it to my MDT server and to push the operating system from there. And this is my IP address of WDS. So it's going cool, it's going fast. It should come up with a WDS screen, welcome screen. It's going to take a minute, so I'm going to pause the video for a while. there you go. I have our MDT deployment wizard, so I'm going to run the deployment wizard. So it's going to ask me the network credentials, so I'm going to put it. If we want, we can also automate this. However, just to show you an example, so I'm going to put my credentials and click OK. I'm waiting for the wizard to run. There you go. So we'll have 3 different task sequences. I'm going to choose this, which is my Windows 7 with latest apps. I'm going to click next. I'm going to name my computer, which is going to be win7-test. And I'm not going to join it to domain right now, but I'm going to click next. It's a bare metal. I don't have any user information to restore. If I have any user information to restore, I can restore the information. It will back it up and you can restore. So I'm going to use US as my language, my currency, and my keyboard. And I'll use my time zone, which is Abu Dhabi +4. So I'll click next. I'm going to choose the application to install. I'll choose both of them. I'll click next, and do I need to capture this? If it's a reference image, I can capture it. I can use that capture to deploy it on many machines. So what I'll do is I will capture it and I'll save it in here. I'll click next, and there you go. And then it's going to take some time, and it will gradually get installed. So let's look at the time. It's 5:19. I'm going to pause the video.